What's happening, YouTube? Juggy here. Check it out, people. Welcome back to a very special video. Call of Duty Black Ops 3 on the map of the Eisendrache. I'll show you guys how to do the main Easter egg, the full tutorial for this map, how to get the cutscene, the achievement / trophy. And this is actually a co-op and solo achievement guide, just so you guys know. Once we get to a certain step, I'll let you guys know the different variation of how it reacts when you're doing it solo. Now, the steps are the same for solo and co-op. The first thing you need to do is to build one bow. If you're doing solo, if you're doing 2 players, you need to build 2 bows. If you're playing 3 players, you need to build 3 bows. And if you're doing 4 players, you need to build all 4 bows. Now, since I'm doing co-op with 2 players, I just need to build 2 bows. After you build 2 bows, you need to get the Wrath of Ancients, which is step number 2, and go to the teleporter right here down by the pyramid and shoot the prongs off the teleporter, and they will actually turn gold. And if you do this step correctly, you will hear a sound effect that goes. That means you completed that step. Now, step number 3 is the whips step. Now, before we actually talk about the wisp step, I want to show you guys all the whips location. Now, the wisp location, now there are 6 different whips around the map, meaning that there's an object that will catch on electricity. Okay, so I just showed you guys right there in the top of the tower right there. There are, by the clock tower, there are 2 locations, the clock and this little box. In the church, there's one, the clock in the church. Next to the church, this little box is right there to buy the powers. Another wisp location possibility right here in Samantha's room, that globe. Now we are going to move on to the next wisp location, which is outside of Samantha's room right here by this table. Not a lot of people know about this location, but right there next to that table, there's going to be a little box, and it will be catch on electricity if it's that wisp location. Now, also not a possible location is right here, this car tire. The next possible wisp location is going to be the telephone next to quick revive, and it's actually going to be electrified, meaning that's where the wisp is actually currently at. Now, you need to shoot the wisp with an upgraded bow. At this point in time, the bow should already be upgraded. You cannot use the Wrath of Ancients for the wisp step. You need to use your upgraded bow. Now, what I recommend, since I'm doing 2 players, one player cover half of the map and the other player cover the other half of the map, meaning one player covered the map, the part of the map that has the car tire, and the other person covered the map that's by the church, and I'm covering the part of the map that's by the church. Now you guys can see the wisp is moving, and when you shoot the wisp, you're gonna hear this sound goes. That means that you did it correctly, and the wisp is moving to another location. Now it's gonna go to either any of these 6 locations, and you need to shoot all the wisps once you hear the wisp sound effect move. Now once you shoot all the wisp location correctly, you're gonna hear this sound, and it's gonna go. That means that you've completed now step number 3, which is the wisps, completing it correctly. Now step number 4 is that you need to go to the teleporter. If you did step number 3 correctly, the teleporter is going to be glowing purple. You're going to go into the teleporter with your players, and you're going to teleport. Now if you do the wisp location wrong, you're going to hear this part is going to go bam. That means you need to start the round and go again and do the wisp location all over again. Step number 4, again, teleport. Step number 5, once you're teleported, you're going to go back in time. You're going to pick up that blue cylinder by holding square or X, depending on what system you're on, and these gauges right here. You're going to pick up those gauges as well in this teleport room that when you went back in time to meet Dr. Groth. Dr. Groth is going to put some things into the safe. He's going to close the safe, and he's going to give you 3 symbols. Now this is going to change every game, and you need to write it down to remember what it is. In my game, it happened to be lightning, lightning, rocket, and that's how I correlate those symbols for me to remember, but you need to write it down again. Those symbols for me, lightning, lightning, rocket. Then you're automatically going to teleport out of that room, and then a panzer will spawn. Make sure you guys kill the panzer robot, and then you'll move on to the next step. Now we're doing very well, and if you got it to this part so far of the Easter egg step, congratulations, because now we can move on to the next step. After you kill the panzer robot, you actually need to take the fuse you just picked up and the gauges you just picked up, but I'm gonna show you guys what you need to do with it. But first, you actually need to build the Ragnarok. Make sure you have the Ragnarok build, which is the gravity spikes, if you do not know what I'm talking about. Remember that fuse we picked up in the teleporter room? You need to go to the top of the tower and put that fuse into the death ray by holding square or X, and then changing the death ray needle from destroy to protect. Now you have completed those 2 steps. Now the computer right here by the Wonder Fizz machine is going to be illuminated, turned on. Now the symbols that Dr. Groff gave you, you need to put it into the computer by going to the computer and holding square or X. Remember, my code happened to be in this game, lightning, rocket. And once you put the code into the computer, you're going to hear this sound effect that goes that means that you need to move on to the next step. So far you're doing great. And once you hear that sound effect, the next step is actually to go down to the pyramid. And I'm taking you guys throughout this entire location so you guys can see I'm not doing any cuts. So I'm showing you guys exactly where I'm going after you complete. That's first Samantha Says by putting Dr. Groff code into that computer. You heard the sound effect, and then the safe will actually be open. Now there's two things you need to pick up in the safe. Three things actually, these two fuses and a card. Now what you need to do when you pick up these items now is to actually go back to the top of the tower by the death ray machine, and you're going to input the first gauge fuse right here into that electricity. So you're going to complete that electricity circuit. And as well right here, remember you picked up two, and there that's where you put those two fuse gauges to make the electricity keep going to attach the circuit. The next step is to switch the needle again from protect back to destroy. Now once you do that, there are two locations that you need to do Samantha Says, which is the next step. Now the first location we're going to do is right here by the rocket test fire location. And now once you do this, you're going to see 4 symbols once you activate that computer. You need to write them down, okay? My symbols are going to be different from your symbols in any order. But I call this symbol smiley face. I call the other one door or basketball court. This one here is lightning. You can call it diamond, whatever you want. You need to remember the symbol. And then the computer is going to give you a symbol, and you need to punch that symbol right back into the computer. And this is a step we call Samantha Says. Now once you actually activate that computer to start this step, a unlimited amount of dogs will spawn. So make sure that you guys keep a zombie. The player that's not doing this step, as Samantha Says, need to watch the zombie and kill their dog, not using their bow but their regular weapon. So you do not kill the zombie because you need to finish these next 2 steps. Now once you actually input the codes correctly, you're going to hear this sound effect, and it's going to go doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. That means that you have completed that step of the Easter egg of Samantha Says. The next computer for Samantha Says is located by the Wonder Fizz machine. Again, once you activate it, you're going to get your codes. I call that basketball court, door, smiley face, lightning, or rocket. But you can call it whatever you want. I got rocket, so I need to punch a rocket back into the computer. And then once you do that, you're going to get another symbol again, just like the rocket test fire location. You just need to do it by the Wonder Fizz machine. Also, again, you're going to get unlimited amount of dogs. If you're doing this on solo, you're going to have no dogs while you're activating this machine. That's the only difference while doing this step. Now, you just need to make sure, again, that the player watching the zombie do not kill the zombie as you do Samantha Says in the second location to complete this step, which is pretty easy. And I think it's pretty fun that if you guys made it to this part of the Easter egg so far, you're actually doing phenomenal. Now, once you actually finish the step by putting in all of the codes from Samantha Says into the computer, then you will hear the sound effect, and it's going to go sounds pretty cool, and then you can move on to the next step. Now once you do those 2 steps correctly, these 2 prongs right here will actually be electrified, and now you know that they're electrified. You can move on to the next Easter egg step to get this done. There's going to be a green button in the back of the death ray machine, and you're going to go to it and you're going to hold it by pressing square or X depending on what system you're on, and then you're going to look in the sky and see the wonders of completing half of the Easter egg. Now Dempsey is actually going to come out of a vortex, fire out from space in a rocket, and he's going to crash land right in front of the church on the Eisendrache. I think this is pretty cool, and if you made it half of the Easter egg step, you are doing great. Now there goes Dempsey, and I just want to show you guys, if you get close to him, you will get electrified, so be careful with that. The next step after you do that is to pick up Richterfin's key from Moon Map. If you guys played the Moon Map in Black Ops 1 Zombies, that's Richterfin's key. Now Richterfin's key is back. You need to pick up that key off the floor and move on to the next step, which again now is to do the Wisp location, or the Wisp step again, by going around the map and shooting all of the electrified wisps that's located on by the car tire side of the map or by the clock tower church side of the map. Again, use your partner and make sure you guys hit all of the Wisp location. And once you get the Wisp location right again, you guys will hear the sound effect that goes that means that you have completed it, and you can move on to the next step, which is again to go down to the bottom of the teleporter, well, bottom of the pyramid by the teleporter, and if you did the whiff step correctly, the teleporter will actually be glowing purple again. That means you have to go back in time. You have to wait till your teammates get there, because you cannot teleport without them. Once your teammates are there with you, teleport, and you're gonna go back in time again. Now Dr. Groth is not gonna be there this time. Now there's going to be a treasure chest, and in this treasure chest you need to pick up an item, but you need to open up the treasure chest. Now the combination to open up this treasure chest is to go to this book right here and press square or X depending on what system you're on, and the treasure chest will pop open. Now you're going to see this slab, this slab of stone, and you're going to pick it up by holding square or X depending on what system you're on again. Now at this point, you guys have a little bit of a breather. You can do whatever you want. You can talk about how well you guys are doing together, because nothing will harm you while you're in this room. It's just time. Once the time is up, you're going to automatically teleport out of this room back into the rocket test fire location. And again, guess what's going to be there waiting for you? You guessed it, a Panzer robot. There goes the Panzer robot. Make sure you guys kill the Panzer robot. Now you're doing beautiful. You actually almost finished the Easter egg of the Eisendrache, the main Easter egg. Now once you pick up that slab of stone, teleport out, you need to move on to the next step, which is to go to the Knight's Tomb room right here and put Richterfin's key into this this coffin rock stone right here, and out will spawn a keeper. Now you put that little Richterfin's key into that little hole by holding square or X. A keeper will spawn, and the keeper will go to 4 different locations, and you need to sacrifice souls. Now in front of the keeper is going to be this white circle, and it's going to be very, very tiny, and if your teammate or co-op partner want to help you out and they actually get into that white circle, is going to become a little bigger and is going to spread out for the radius, because you need to kill zombies with your upgraded bows. Now there are 4 locations, there are 2 of you guys, and what's going to happen is that 2 locations will be your turn to sacrifice zombies, and the other 2 locations is going to be your partner's turn to sacrifice zombies. Now I believe the first time the first person to sacrifice zombies right there was me, and the way you know whose turn it is that the bows will actually be that color of the sacrificial soul that goes into the keeper. For example, I'm shooting here, and the souls that's going in, they're not purple, they're actually blue. So that's the blue. Remember, blue correlates with the lightning bow, purple correlates with the skull crusher / void bow. So that's how you know whose bow it is that you need to sacrifice the souls. Now once you sacrifice all of the souls that needs to be done, which is a lot, between 25 and 30 souls, the keeper will actually move to the next location. There are 4 locations. I showed you the first one, which is by the Knight's room, by Samantha's room area, between the church and Samantha's room. The second one was by a quick revive port. The third one is right here in front of the church, and the 4th one is actually, you guys will not even believe it, which is actually in front of the car tire by double tap. Now once you actually sacrifice all of the souls, what's going to happen, see, the keeper is actually going to the last location. Now this time is not my turn to go, it's my partner's turn to go, and he has to actually kill the zombies. I actually ran out of ammo, so I left the area, but I'm going to show you guys what happens when you actually complete this step by sacrificing all of the souls in all 4 locations to complete the keeper's soul step. Now what's going to happen after you complete the 4th location is that the keeper is actually going to turn solid. He's not going to be see-through or a ghost anymore. He's actually going to be solid, and he's going to be on fire. You do not need to follow him, but I'm going to show you exactly the path that he takes and what's going to happen next. So I'm actually going to follow the keeper, and he can actually, by the way, the keeper step, he can go to any of those locations, but you can actually arrive before him if you know where he's going to go. But I just told you exactly all of the locations, so you will never have to lose him. Now once he turns solid, fire, on flame, he's actually going to go to the bottom of the pyramid. The pyramid is not going to be there anymore, and he is going to go into the center. At this point in time, all of the zombies will disappear, and it's going to give you a little bit of a break so you can coordinate with your teammate. So you could be like, you know what, we're good, we're taking it slow, we're doing great. You know, you guys are actually doing great if you're following this Easter egg step right now. The characters are going to talk a little bit more to get into the storyline between Dr. Groth and Richterfin. And then what's going to happen after the ghost disappears, now you're going to wait just a little bit longer, and then the teleporter will the pyramid will actually reappear. As you guys can see, is actually getting ready to activate, and then the zombies will actually spawn back in. So get ready to fight again, because at this point 27, they're just going to flood in around 27, so watch out for that. Now the pyramid is back. There are 3 cylinders around the pyramid, 1, 2, 3 cylinder of souls. And remember, we picked up a cylinder earlier, and you're actually going to go to the one that doesn't have a cylinder, and you're going to hold square or X, and you're going to put that cylinder into that pyramid, completing that step, the pyramid soul step, which is pretty cool. The pyramid is going to open up, and there goes the keeper, and he's actually ready for you. And now this is the boss battle. I recommend you guys having everything from max ammo, the Ragnarok, and gobblegums and everything. Now then, this step is to actually take the Ragnarok, and your player and you need to stand on any of the 4 plates and drop your Ragnarok down at the same time, activating the boss battle stage to complete this Easter egg step. Now this is pretty crazy. I'm going to talk about it a little bit, how to destroy the boss battle, but I will actually make a full tutorial video on actually how to do it individually. But I'll give you guys all the hints right now if you're watching this video to survive the boss battle. Once you are in this step, you need to never stop shooting. They're going to be dogs, they're going to be skeletons, they're going to be panzers, and they're going to have the big boss in the middle of the map, and he's going to be shooting volcano rocks at you, which can take you down. He's going to be sending skulls out that will actually damage you, and then he can actually do an electricity burst around the entire map that's actually a one-hit downer for all of the players. Now once he actually does the electricity, you know he's going to do the electricity because he's going to go inside the middle of the map, and then you need to drop your Ragnarok when you see this glowing wisp step. It's gonna be a big wisp, glowing electricity wisp, and you need to drop your Ragnarok when he is in the middle of the map, and you're gonna trap him in there, and then you're gonna shoot his chest, and then you're gonna pick back up your Ragnarok, and you're gonna get a max ammo. Now if you do not have souls or your Ragnarok is not charged, that means that he's going to shoot electricity burst, and he's going to just kill everything around you. And the only way to protect yourself is to stand behind of these pillars like you guys just see me doing earlier. And if you stand behind the pillars when he's going to drop his electricity, because you already know this because you do not have a Ragnarok dropped on the floor, then you need to stand behind the pillar and make sure you're shooting your bow at the floor so you can kill all the zombies around you, because they still will be actually attacking you. Okay, now once you do that, panzers will spawn with skeletons and dogs, and you guys see me standing behind of the pillar because we do not have enough souls in the Ragnarok. But I think that my teammate Mr. Wild actually did have his Ragnarok charged, so that Wisp was in the middle of the glowing in the middle of the map, and the big boss was coming down. He dropped his Ragnarok, he trapped him, and then you have to shoot his soul. Now there's 3 stages to this, and once you actually do this, you're actually going to kill him. He's going to spin around after you shoot his chest, and then that will mean that you defeated the boss battle. Now you have completed that step. Now the next step, there are only 2 more steps left to do this Easter egg. Now you're going to spawn right back into the pyramid room after you kill the boss. And what's going to happen is that you will actually not have to pick up the summoning key from Shadows of Evil. And there it goes right there in the middle of the pyramid. Now you're going to pick up the summoning key by holding square or X after it does its animation, and you're going to need to take this summoning key to a special place, which is the last step of the Easter egg. Now once you grab that summoning key from the hole in the pyramid, you're going to go to the top of, well, not the very top, but next to the Wonder Fizz machine, to Samantha Says computer, and you're going to drop the summoning key into that computer by holding square or X depending what system you're on, and you're going to activate the computer. The summoning key is going to give that computer electricity, and it's going to activate all the rockets on the Eisendrache map, and all of the rockets will actually go towards the moon, and it's going to be incredible. Once you get to this part in time, all the zombies will stop, so you do not need to worry about zombies, and then the animation and the cutscene and everything will actually activate because you completed the Easter egg step. And after you actually drop that summoning key into the computer, the rockets will spawn, and it will actually take out the moon, and it will actually blow up the moon. And that's exactly all of the steps, all 27 steps to completing this Easter egg on the Eisendrache. Now once the moon has been blown up, then you will actually get the cutscene. Now because of copyright purposes, I will not show you guys all of the cutscene, but I just want to show you as soon as the moon has been blown up, that the cutscene will automatically be activated for you guys. Now there goes Dempsey, and Recipient is trying to kill Dempsey, and Maxis actually stopped Recipient from using the summoning key to destroy him. And then basically that's the cutscene. Now once you come out of the cutscene, you're gonna get 2500 XP, and it's gonna call Freedom, Frozen Freedom, and now the game is gonna resume. So all the zombies will be coming back out after you, so be very careful. And basically that's the Easter egg step, the main Easter egg. All 27 steps are how to do the main Easter egg on Call of Duty Black Ops 3 on the map of the Eisendrache. Again, you can use this for solo or co-op. I just want to give my shout outs really quickly to I Am Mr. Wild for helping me out, aka Wild, and Rudy, which is one of my Air Force friends, Air Force veteran, when I was actually in the Air Force. He showed me how to play zombies, and look where I am at today, showing you guys how to play zombies. Life is a cycle. So until next video, I'm Jug, and I'm out, man. Peace.